Hi, hello everybody, hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I did a video. Just have to check out this. I hope you are alive, spiritual, and you are getting enlightened. It is very important. Goes without saying. Okay? Now, the world is actually up and down every single day. There's something that is happening. As we always tell you, this is a low vibrational state. First dimension, second dimension, third dimension. The hell world, which so many people are still yet attached to it. You guys really love this world. It's crazy. It is crazy. It's one thing to be in love with this world, but it's another when you're too attached to actually realize it, that it's sucking you down the hill. Or should I say, down the hellhole. So, I want to say to people that, you know, being a chosen person or being a chosen one, it's something which, when you have opened yourself to, you're going to have to follow all the things you are meant to do when you incarnate back or reincarnate back into this earth, right? It depends on which level you are, because it's two total different. There's a huge difference between incarnated beings and reincarnated beings. Total difference, right? It depends on the level of your ascended master or the ascension that you have for this lifetime, and with your macabre to help assist your higher self to carry all the traits that you have to do as a spiritual person, right? So when you are the chosen one, which you have chosen yourself to come and exist or manifest into this reality and help and assist many people that are on this light of finding themselves, you find that this person has been searching within, but when they now meet you with your energy that you have, they come across the information which you are teaching or spreading, that it has to it is talking or is directed to them. Those timings, right? We call them timing now because it is a way in this world to justify time that does not exist. Okay, so it's really tough, I don't want to lie, and many people come into the spiritual world thinking that is always going to be good. It's not going to always be like that, unfortunately, but it is a part of your process growing up in a spiritual way. Because if you grew up understanding only what is light, and you've been taught that you should always run away from the dark side, then you are in an ignorant place. Because sometime things will happen and they will challenge you to the point that you go to your lowest self of your being. And if you're unable to actually overcome those challenges, then it becomes a problem for you. This means there's a lot you haven't learned and you still have to learn as a spiritual person, right? As a spiritual person, comes natural. So I just wanna tell you that whatever things that you encounter that are so negative into your life, don't run away from them. Okay? This is what I'm drinking. If you run away from them, then you are not overcoming your fears or your darkness. You're simply maintaining it so that it can come back and haunt you and try to even destroy you. Okay, that is why there is what you call graduation in the university. When you reach the universal side, when I say university, I'm not talking about university as in like it's school or tertiary. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your university, right? This is the universe. Okay? This is more than just the brain that's inside of here. It's your universe, right? Through all the dimensional shifts in the spiritual world, you are able to justify, right? To justify what it means to be an interdimensional being, right? Okay? You get connected with the whole utmost DNA that makes you whole as a spiritual person. Now, when you do that, you get a chance to understand how energies work and the elements, because all the elements are connected to the energies, and all the energies are connected to the elements. And all the elements and the vibrations are connected to each and every chakra of yours, from the lowest up all the way to the highest. It's one and the same thing. It's one and the same thing. It's not different. So when you master your universe, you have now graduated. Okay? You have mastered yourself. Right? As you have mastered yourself, you are able to do things according how your spiritual light has brought you up in this reality to do as a spiritual person. Sorry about that. The university, as I'm telling you, all right? So when you reach your universal self, because everybody as individual, you have certain abilities which you carry within yourself as a spiritual person. And you have, as a collective conscious, I always say this, we are collective one, right? But everybody has their own personal or personality, personified way of doing things, right? You might carry all the elements as you and I do, but there will be such heightened focus in that specific ability, right? It will mean that I am more specializing in how to manipulate and control the energy of the fire, and you're more specialized in how to control and manipulate the energy of the water, right? Because it is your highest self, your highest wisdom chose that over every other element, okay? Because you were simply connecting with your universe mind, the universal mind, the universal charge, okay? When you reach your universe self, that's when now you realize that your body is inside of your mind, not the other way around. Now it is easy for you to do such manifestations and be highly conscious as you become very most aware of everything that happens within and outside of you, right? This then pushes you to activate your pineal gland, your crown chakra, your Godhead, your first eye. When you then activate your first eye, you're moving into another level of graduation, your university. Because in the one singular universe, there's so many dimensions and shifts within connected to you and your higher self. It is just the doorway for you to be able to access and get inside and start to make things happen from the mental state. That is why it is very, very, very important that whatever that you think about all the time is something which you know and understand. That I am attracting this energy. Therefore, you shall stand for it. Don't blame anybody else, but blame yourself. Because the moment you activate this mind as a chosen person, then you have got a great responsibility for it. Okay? I won't mention her name, but there was a time which I had an interview with the famous lady. We're talking and discussing the book, okay? I remember very well she asked me this question and everything because she was very much interested in everything that I'm doing every day. And she was like, she got a bit worried though. She was like, so tell me, Ra, with all the knowledge that you're teaching people and you're giving people, right? How sure are you they're going to be responsible for this abilities or for these powers? Okay. And she was like, because since now we're going to be able to take part in actually publishing a book, are we not going to get into trouble for this? Because whatever that's inside of this book surely is teaching people how to reach their higher self, how to become supreme, and how to activate their God being within the carbon melanated beings. I was like, that is a great question, right? Anything of which a person does at this time, right now, when you start to activate your light body, it is only there to do good onto this planet and humanity and God beings amongst, or the people that surround you, the nature. You will be greatly assisted by your ancestors, because if you are full of greed, low vibration, right, negative state, then your higher self will not occur. Because the moment you reach your higher self, you know that the things that you're supposed to do are good things, right? It means you have mastered your lower self to the point that if I get drawn back to it, I'm going to be able to survive and pick myself up and rectify all the mistakes and to apply the high vibrational states of things that makes me whole again or connect with the nature. That's what I told her, that you don't need to worry about anything, because anybody who's going to get these abilities and powers, you're not going to get them out of the ego that you have, right? Out of the physical ego attachment that you have for this world and the material world, okay? It will not happen that way. It will actually even put you very far away from your higher self. It will actually push you back, more further back, not to be able to have that access. So I told her that it is a mind thing. The moment you reach your higher self, it is natural for you to be just. When you become just, you're no longer about the negative or the positive. You are just, and everything that is just is properly fixed. When everything is properly fixed, then the level of your spiritual path will just be a great benefit to humanity, God beings, and nature around you. So that's what I told her. She was really, really worried, right? She was really, really worried. Let me just update you about the book, right? The person, Mr. Mikado, which was supposed to assist and help me with this book, it never happened anyway. I just don't want to dwell so much about it and say, I don't want to say anything or sound like I'm being negative, right? I'm just being honest, right? He came to me, he approached me when we were doing Amma Bishop, right? He said, "What? You look like you have like some great set of skills, Why don't you just, write a book, come up with a book, and then we'll just help to publish it." I was not in that mentality thing, right? I'm a great writer. I can write, definitely. And I can write lyrics. Somebody even said to me, "Why don't you become a ghost writer?" However, I don't like reading. I don't read at all. I hate reading. And it became even worse when I started to when I touch a book, I read fast. Is an ability which I've acquired, or which I never thought I had, but I've always done this way, to be like reading. I'm not a reading type of a person. So when he approached me, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be rude or anything, I think it is a great idea. It makes it more even easy for people to read. But I told him that, listen, when I create this book, I don't want to make this once upon a time, blah, 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 all the nonsense. No, I just want to be direct and actually guiding people. What is it that they're supposed to do on their spiritual journey and how to reach their higher self? And we agreed it was like that. And I typed the book. Everything was just all well and fixed, and the book was finished, right? And then by the time when he had to produce the book, there were so many problems that encountered with the things which was working with, and I had to, as I'm as impatient as I am, because I know that I've entrusted, I've put trust in your guys. Okay, your guys have a trust in me that there's gonna be a book very soon that comes up for you to actually be able to read and try to make even more understanding of all the things that I've been talking about, so that you can always have and preserve this information that can be very beneficial to you and your kids and your family, if it must. So I was very impatient, okay? And there were some things which he was working on. And then when time went on, I decided, what, let me just let him off the hook. Understand? Because I don't want to sound like you owe me something or I owe you something, you know? I was like, what, let me just let him off the hook. And we just, nothing wrong happened. But for the mere fact that I just told him that, no, I'll just find another way. Okay, I was never honest about it, but I told him that, listen, there's no need for you to do this book anymore, because he actually expressed himself to me that if you think that I'm maybe perhaps wasting your time, you can just, find somebody else to help and assist you with the book, or just do it, blah, blah, and all of that. I was like, oh, cool, no problem. And that's when I was approached by this famous lady. Actually, it was a way of connecting with her, as she connected with me as well when it comes to this, because she actually, the first time when I met her, she gave me ideas how to actually excel in this book, how to make it so that people can actually, because one thing she was stressing about me writing this book, she was like, you don't want to, with the knowledge that you have, you don't want to come too much and too hard on people, okay? But you want to give this information to the point whereby they will relate to it. And I was like thinking in my mind, like, but what she's saying is actually wise, because first of all, our people are not yet open up to this information. And if I now go deep, then it will actually throw them off or not even have interest in that book anymore. So I started to actually play around with it, make sure that I put it in a way where people are going to relate towards it, and which it was so. But anyway, we had a meeting, we met, and that's when I decided that she will be a great candidate or a great person to take part into this book. And as soon as it gets published, everything will just work out well. I can't wait. I know that you guys can't wait as well. But the book is going to be out very, very soon. You're going to love it. It's something simple, as you know it. It's something very simple, okay? It's something which is going to guide you on the proper, necessary steps you need to take on your spiritual path, the diet which you have to eat, and the meditation and the forms of meditations and yogas that you're supposed to do as a spiritual person. It's just the basics. When you are up and running according to how I've put things into perspective, then I'll start to upgrade the information for you to have and always follow, to preserve it for your children. Because that's what this is all about. All the information that we're supposed to give is not supposed to actually go to the elderly people, although they are much more interested, because growing up as children, they were robbed, and they're only realizing it now, right? Everything is coming all together. The superhero movies they've been watching, that they've been trying to tell you that you are this and that, you have abilities which you're able to actually possess or already have embedded within you. The only thing that you have to do is activate your specific chakras, or all of them, and be activated in your mind and reach your higher self and start to travel differently than an ordinary person who does not take part in the spiritual practice or even meditate. So that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. All the information that I'm always telling you guys, I always tell everybody that it's important that you share with the children, because the children are very much hungry for this information. You just don't know it. That is why, when your child starts to actually switch on the television, right? First of all, you need to be aware of this. The energy of the television is making your child to be drawn to it. That is why the only thing that entertains your children is cartoons, right? Already in the cartoon mindset, there's an energy that is like attract the energy of your child. When it does that, it tunes him or her in to have that focus and be interested in what is supernatural. Okay? The reason for that, it is a reverse psychology. It is a way of how they manipulate your child's mind to forget about everything that they see, which they know already it is real, it is possible. But when they express those visions with different type of colors which negatively affect your children, is to help shut down the first eye. That way it builds them up properly as preparing them to be programmed. You know, then when that happens, when the chance opens its doorway for the people who are taking your children to be programmed, they make them forget about everything and start to actually go against everything that is of nature, to the point that if anybody starts to try and be like a superhero in front of a person which grew up watching all those cartoons, will be like, no, you're crazy, there's something wrong with you, because now you grew up watching these things and they were teaching you to forget all of them so that you never reach your higher self. You always remain and be blind. That's how the system likes you and your children. So when you have this information, your children, when they grow up, right, they're always hungry for this information. So it's something which you have to keep within yourself and share it amongst your sons and daughters. Because in this vibration that we are growing up all into is to create a new field of a different age that's going to set everyone free. Slowly but surely we are breaking the generational curses, right? As we are breaking the generational curses, new phases must open. When these new phases open, the interdimensional places, they start to establish new forms of vibrations that can actually be positive in everyone's lives, including the energies and the nature of this earth as a whole, right? So it's all about practicing the home spirituality within, man. You know, it always begins within. It's never outside of you. It's always inside of you. But in order for them to change that mindset, they tell you everything that is inside is nonsense, because everything that is outside is good and pure, when it's nothing but just evil. You know? So I just wanted to share this information, just that it's been a long time since I made a video on YouTube. I hope you find this very pleasant, welcoming. And if there's a lot that's happening in your life right now, please hold on, be strong, have strength for it. Okay? One thing I want to tell you is the system is trying to destroy everybody that's waking up. These things are testing you if you are a true spiritual soldier, a true spiritual warrior, if you've got what it takes to overcome the lower energies. When you master that, remember all the time, it is your university in your mind that's taking you into the higher grade. It's all about upgrade. If there isn't anything negative to come and challenge you, then there's no reason for you to upgrade, is there? Think about it, there isn't. The only reason why the earth is shifting to a different dimension is because of the negative state. And that is why I always say this, never look at these things as separate, but one and the same. Because they help each other. They help each other, right? And that's how you should be as a spiritual person. You use whatever negative to change it use that energy to make it positive. When you do that now, you are using your two brains as one, two-sided brains as one. And as you keep on focusing on your higher self, things just start to be according to how you want them to be, not according how somebody else would want them to be for you. So keep that in mind. Love and light. I love you so much, man. As I said, anything that is happening to you that is so bad and negative, try to actually be strong for it. Everything that's happening in your life is actually training you to be strong. Keep it inside and move on. Don't let anything or anybody turn you around or change your mind. Love and light.